Well, on the YouTube, when I turned it on, it said there's new monitoring people. I don't know what that was, but it sounded like people to monitor your calls or monitor the chats or something like that. I don't know if they're charging or what, but I got a few minutes before I go out to a party tonight, and I came across a couple of things I wanted to share with you because it's unusual stuff, that's out there, and it's really trying to keep up on all this stuff because it changes every day. I don't know if you see this headline here. It says, what does it say? Citing red flags, IRS will deny most claims for the employee retention grant. This is a big, big item for businesses during the pandemic, and it's still available to 2025. And they give you up to $26,000 for every employee that you kept during the pandemic. And it's by year, so you could get, it's a little complicated, but it's employee retention credit. Now, the problem with that is what happens is, boy, the hucksters come out and the sharks, when they say, oh, it's going to be easy. And you got the grant through the IRS. See, I mean, what happened in COVID is a lot of grants were given out through the IRS because it was an easy way to get money to people. They have all the systems set up. Instead of somebody else, agency setting it up, they just run it through the IRS. So it was, now, then what happened when this thing came out, what was happening is that people, sharks and scammers and stuff like that, or maybe they weren't scamming, but they were certainly, the IRS thinks they were now, is telling small businesses, hey, hire me, I'll get you $26,000, and they'll get like $7,000 or something like that of the $26,000. Well, first of all, you don't have to hire anybody to do something like that. That's all available for free. So anybody says they have a business grant for you, never, never, never say, okay, and I'll give you part of the money. It sounds easy, and that's how they make a good sales call because you don't know about it. And they say, hey, you want $26,000? I'll get it for you, and if you give me $6,000 or $7,000 or something like that. And don't do that because there's people that will help your small business apply to every grant that you're eligible for. And you can start finding them by going to America's, AMERICAS, and then SBDC.org. They'll help you for free, and they won't take $7,000. They already paid you. But now the problem is these people that called you up, and they were all over the internet. They were calling people. They were, IMing people, messaging people. I mean, hey, let me get that. And the IRS found out all these people that were filling out all these applications for these people were scamming people. They were wrong, and the IRS is not giving them the money. Okay, so about half of these applications were turned down by the IRS. So that has slowed down the processing of these grants that are for legitimate small businesses. So if you've been in business during the COVID, the last 3 years or whatever it was, call your small business development center, or that's America's, AMERICAS, and then SBDC.org. Put in your zip code and call them and make an appointment. You say you want to know about the employee retention credit to see if you're eligible. You do not have to hire an attorney. You do not have to hire an accountant. You do not have to give money to somebody who don't apply for it. And they're probably going to screw it up and you don't get the money anyway because now there's so many red flags about this. Listen to this kind of stuff. The IRS said this Thursday it investigated 1 million claims worth $68 billion. The IRS plans to deny about 10 to 20% of the claims at greatest risk in the near future and will continue investigating another 60 to 70% of the claims that show unacceptable level of risk, okay? Here's the tax credit program has been a target of aggressive marketing tactics called robocallers. Hey, this is Charlie, and I got this deal for you. And TV ads promising businesses they could receive $26,000 in tax credits for each employee retained. Companies behind the ads offered to file the claims in exchange for a payout from the refund. Okay, see, since September, the IRS has successfully processed 28,000 claims worth $2.2 billion and disallowed 14,000 claims of $1 billion. So a third of all the claims that were processed they disallowed them. So all these people are scamming and they're stretching. They think they get away with something, and they're getting you in trouble because now you have a bad name at the IRS, right? For trying to scam. Okay, the program was initially meant to run until 2025, but the IRS is consulting with Congress about ending it early. So that means their IRS is talking to the Congress that they're going to change the law and not keep it till the 2025. And they're going to quit it soon. So you have a small business of any kind. If you had employees in the last couple of years, you find out about this. Earlier this year, the House of Representatives passed a tax bill that would end the ERC and enhance penalties for promoting fraudulent claims in connection with the tax credit. The measure is awaiting Senate consideration. So they're on the case to try to screw this up. And you get hurt. That's why, you hear if it's, hey, Matt, maybe we can find some 20-year-olds and steal from them. I think we're doing that now. They're going to have to pay these taxes. That's why I give a lot of my Social Security money back to a community college, set aside for single moms. I think they're the backbone of this country. People taking care of kids alone, man, and they're trying to go to school. That's really a Herculean task, for people. Okay, here's another neat program I found, and it's they're having is a program. I forget what the city it is, but I have the link here. KSN.com, state regional. Oh, in Kansas. Kansas is giving, listen to this, $50,000 for you to build an apartment on top of a building. That's solving our housing crisis. You get a $50,000 grant to build an apartment on top of a building, office building, garage. We don't have a building and we don't have land, but we're short of housing. We're short. That's right. You're going to see programs like this popping up all around the country because we have a terrible housing shortage. And so that's right. The elected officials have to get clever in how we're going to do this housing shortage. Like now, a lot of cities give $50,000 for building a granny house in your backyard. That's something you could rent or have your in-laws stay in or whatever. So there's going to be programs like this all over the country. So you got to keep your ear to the ground. What's going on? And your elected officials, I would get on the email list of all your elected officials, because they're the ones who like to brag when they pass a law, and this would be federal and local. So you want to get your state officials and your Washington, D.C. officials, get on their mailing list or chat or whatever the hell it is, so you're notified when they pass a law that's going to have a grant for you to do something like build a house on top of a building. Tula. How are you? And that's cool. By the way, don't forget, it's hot as hell where I am, and it's going to be hotter soon. And people with lower income have problems with their heating bills and things like that. Remember, there's a lot of states that can't cut off your electricity so that you have heating or cooling thing during times like this. Every state is different. So you have to ask your state if they have that law, if you're worried about getting it cut off. And also, every state, if you go to findhelp.org and put in utilities, you'll see literally dozens and dozens of organizations that provide extra money to pay utility bills so you keep your air conditioning on. There's also free air conditioners they're giving out for free, many nonprofits locally. You want to investigate that is at findhelp.org. And if you really get stuck, you call your elected official and you go right down the list. They're there to help you find an organization. So if you don't have $20 for me, you use them. And by the way, the $20, by the way, we have a deal running now. If you're not a member, we're giving out 5 free days of letsgohelp.com, complete services, attend all the videos, the live chats, the workshops, everything we have. And for 5 days, and it costs $1. That's it. And for 5 days, we want to see if we could reach people that really need this. And so the thing is that you spend $1 and you download all the state stuff. In other words, the smart thing to do was go to letsgodollar.com, and spend $1 and get access to everything on Let's Go Help 2. Go to the state reports and go to the 500 mini grant report page, and you find your state. And actually, download every state. You could download all the states. Just download the 50 grants available, 500 grants that are available for all the 50 states. And so now you'll have a collection of all the grants in every state of the country. They're not all the grants, but they're best grants for doing the important things about living in this country, whether it's paying your bills and rent, starting a business, buying a home or fixing up a home, getting a job or job training, health care, dental care, I don't care, you don't care, all kinds of legal help, everything, pet care, all this stuff. So download that for $1 and you'll get 50 reports there, and then also download the Meta Grant Report. And that's the Let's Go Meta Grant Report. It's on the same list there. It's right on top of that list. So make sure you download that because that's important to have. So for $1, you get all that, and you have that, and you don't have to talk to us again. But make sure you disconnect by the end of 5 days, or we're going to charge you $19.95. So cancel before 5 days. Download all that. Go to a live workshop or two, whether it's Michelle or Tula or anybody. Tammy, attend a live workshop. Go to the question corner and put in your question, like, hey, I need help with car repair. Where do I go? And we'll do the custom research to give you what you need to get going. So that's only $1, and you sign up at letsgodollar.com. letsgodollar.com. And don't holler at me. Give me $1 instead. But it's really to make sure that people know about these programs. I do it for free, but we have to pay their bills and keep this thing going so people could help each other. And what's happening now, I see, which is so wonderful and makes my heart grow, are all the members that help other members try to get through this crisis that we all suffer through, called life. Life is really living through crisis to crisis, and that's important. Oh, from the 90s, yes, and I'm almost 90 now. I'm 81. But maybe I'll get there. I'll be 90 in the 90s. No, I'll be 90 in. I won't make the near years 90. Oh, that's right. That's backwards. Okay. But that's it. It's all there. But it takes some effort to figure out how it's done. It's not complicated. Just our minds are in a different set. They're set for Google, how to use Google. But Google is, you find out how to use Google because Google will charge you. Everything in Google, you have to pay money for. You have to start learning how to use services that don't charge money. See, so that's why they don't advertise. It's a different ball game. So that's what we do, at Let's Go Help, is teach you that this is a different game you have to play when you want to get the free stuff, because they get the same paycheck, whether they help you or not. Not like on Google, they don't get paid unless they get money out of you. So that's why they'll kiss your ass all day. But here, no, they got the same. So you got to kiss their ass, is what it boils down to. You got to be nice as hell. And that's the way to get anything in life, tell you the truth, and to have fun doing it. What is the email again? Well, it's the website is Lesko, Lesko. A lot of people put Lesgo, Lesko. No, it's Lesko, and then dollar, DOLLAR. So Lesko, Lesko, then dollar, DOLLAR.com. Teresa, what are you up to? Companies are buying up Atlanta neighborhoods and gentrification to move residents out. Yeah, boy, there's a lot of gentrification. And also, what disturbs me is the landlords, the apartment buildings, are venture capital people and those kind of sharks, and they're not too interested in livelihood, just making money or living. I mean, that's what happened, I think, in Germany. Most of the apartment buildings are all owned by big investors, and all they care about is the bottom line. Yes, they don't care. I don't care. If it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus glued to the dashboard of my car through all trials and tribulations. Well, that's an old country western song that was fun when I was growing up. Well, thank you again, guys, for everything. Remember, help other people out there. We all need it. And it will grow your heart. The more people you help, the more your heart will grow. And the more your heart grows, the healthier you become. And the easier it is to get through all this stupid shit called life. Because that ain't going anywhere. Unless you want it to. And other center requests to be in your life. Okay, that's a join. Golden Girls Dorm. So that's interesting. Yes. Okay, guys, I gotta go party. See you later.